Perhaps I am relying too much on my strength.
We must go and assist our allies.
Opponent. I'll crush you like all of the others. I shall return. Remember that. For yours is the first head I shall seek.
Another victim has fallen before me. Your time is up.
Here all alone? I welcome such carelessness in the ranks of my enemies.
Your time is up.
We must retreat. This is not the end.
Another victim has fallen before me.
Excuse me. I am in need of your assistance.
Your strength is worthless against my strategy.
performance makes me feel alive.
We shall pull back his plan.
Another victim has fallen.
Hey, don't get too cocky. What a most uninspiring battle. I could nearly end it by myself.
Excellent, my son. That is the spirit needed to crush those in the way of our conquest.
I shall protect the both of you, my lords. The enemy shall not get past my ironclad defense.
Dare to stand against me?
You're alone? I will make you regret your indiscretion.
You were foolish to ride off alone. Let me show you why.
Your time is up.
Just as I expected. You are one man I do not want as an enemy.
Another victim has fallen before me.
As commander, it is my duty to put you down.
You're going to get burned!
There is no enemy that cannot be defeated. You must be persistent. With your strength at my side, we shall scale the summit of the martial arts together.